I'll show you a few things. Many people have made videos on this. I'll send you a few pictures and you can have a look and go through it yourself. Here's Moscow metro station and underground metro, whatever you want to call it. And the thing is, people are saying it's very suspicious. Russia was very poor. How the hell did they build this, etc.? You know, when it was built, 1960s, 70s, 50s, or whatever. Yeah. So now people are saying it's very suspicious. How could they have suddenly built it? But now, if we're going to go to what they call ancient Rome, yeah, we're going to find the same tunnels that you can convert straight away into metro stations, and they're calling them underground cisterns. Now, the thing is, if we're going, and the thing is, people don't understand when I'm saying things, but the thing is, there's many videos saying, look at this amazing technology, amazing architecture, blah, blah, blah. And they're just going to go on and on and on. And we're not going to have any results or any information. And we don't find out anything. We just know they're lying about history, like there's strange tunnels, strange things underground. And we can't figure out how they built these places.
But it
Yes.
seems like these
So
are, I mean,
that's
I
an
can't help
example.
but
Have you seen?
I can't help but speculate, and I know you don't like to speculate, but I'm just gonna say it. When I look at these, I have to wonder if it wasn't to protect themselves from weather changes or something like that, because these major subterranean dwellings, which are impenetrable, made of stone, and can deal with hot and cold, whatever's above, those are just some
Yeah.
qualities they have. Regardless,
Yeah.
before we continue, I
Now,
just want to
I
say,
want you to, when I talk about these things, um, when we are sitting in Europe and the United States, we go through monuments that are in Europe and in the United States. Yes, but what we don't realize is that we are from wealthy countries, and in wealthy countries, we've got the cash to clean these places up, to redecorate them, to paint them, and modify them. Yes, yes. Yes. So this is something that we've got a problem now. I'm just looking for pictures. We've got places like this in England. People are saying it's suspicious how they built the New York Metro, the London Metro Underground, and the Paris Metro Underground, just like that. And they built it very fast. Yeah.
right? It's like a
So people,
running joke that there's just unknown amounts of tunnels, just crazy amounts of tunnels.
yeah, yeah, and the crazy amount of tunnels. So the thing is, when we're in this side of the world, those tunnels could have been the same one, like in Rome. That is not a metro tunnel. In Russia, it's a metro tunnel, but it's exactly the same. So now in London, they're going to tell us they built it brand new. Yes, and in New York and in Paris, they'll say they built it brand new. But is this really the case? Yes. So the thing is, we're stuck because we're stuck for information because we are looking from, our mentality, which is going to look in Europe and in America. Are we going to look in Hong Kong? Are we going to look in Taiwan? Are we going to look in, let's say, Malaysia? Are we going to look through the tunnel system in Singapore?
I was thinking
No.
Singapore. Singapore is interesting because they destroyed so much of it and rebuilt so much of the above. But I don't know about the underground. The underground's probably the part that
Yeah.
remains.
Yeah. So now another thing is like for example now here's a sewage tunnel, and it's suspicious how big these sewage tunnels are all around the world. This is in London. You'll find them in every city in the United States. So now the way they say the speed that they built these sewage tunnels at is also very suspicious. So now many of them they did build many of them in the 19th century, in the 1920s and 30s, because we were still building these things. It's ridiculous when some people say, hey, it's lost technology, we don't know how they built it, but they were doing it. So now let me send you some suspicious things that nobody talks about. Now here is a tunnel that's going from, not going along the ground, but going from the air into the
Wow.
ground. Yeah. Now,
Puzzle di
do you know
San
what they're going to
Patricio.
tell? Yeah, they're going to tell us this is in Italy. Yeah, Piso di San Patricio di Orvieto, and they're going to tell you that this was built in the 16th century. Now, what do you call it? Yes, when you listen to the story of how they built it and why, then you know it's just total garbage, or yes, total garbage. Yeah, it's supposed to be 62 meters deep or something like that. Yeah, 13 meters in diameter, and they built it. Let me show you who built this. Then we can be absolutely precise. Let's make no mistakes here, because the story is laughable. Yeah, I like
God,
these
this thing is
stories.
huge. I can't even believe it looking at this.
Yeah, yeah. It's just ridiculous when they tell you who built this place, and when you have a look at it, and then you
Is
think,
it even like,
no.
is it supposed to be refurbished even? Like it's from something that was already there? Do they claim
Right,
that?
now,
Okay.
have a look at this picture, this new one. They're telling us these guys here, you know,
Okay.
oh, no, they built it. Yes, according to historians. So now the thing is, yeah, this is in Italy, and the thing is, how deep are we talking? It's 62 meters deep, and they're telling us that this place. I sent you two pictures. Go back to the picture. It's supposed to be a water well, and then you can see the greenery in the background. That
Right.
picture, yeah, it's inside a mountain, and you can't see any people living nearby.
So this is kind of
Hardly
like
anybody.
this looks kind of like a nilometer, like one of the Arab nilometers that they
Oh,
use to measure water or something.
by the way, do you know what this place is? It's supposed to be an alleged water well. Yeah, and let me show you something. It's like if somebody uses their brain, then this is what they're going to find. Just have a look at what it says here. The population of this place in the year 1500 was 4,798. So now, if we take
Okay.
away, yeah, if we take away, let's say 5,000 people, one quarter of the people is old, one quarter of the people are young and children, one quarter is women. So we've only got 1,250 men.
Yeah.
So now, from 1,250 men, they've got to do farming, and they look like idiots. You've seen them; they can't even walk very
And you
far.
know,
Yeah,
theoretically, they're supposed to have way more kids than that, so it could be even less than 1,200 men, right? It could be like
yeah. So
300.
how the hell are they going to build this place? So now the
It
thing
could be
is,
like
we can sit there.
227.
Yeah. So now we can just sit there and pretend that all the world's civilization is in Europe and America, and it's
God,
all
this is
Judeo-Christian.
exactly so. When we were looking at the American Tartarian buildings, they say everything's built in 1 year in 1800. So this is the equivalent in the 15. Everything's built in 1500 by these Catholic peasants. Hooray! Right? That's amazing.
Oh yeah,
Oh man.
in Italy and France. So now the thing is, we can sit there and just be baffled and pretend that we're dummies and saying, "Whoa, they're lying to us, they're lying to us." But
Oh no, no,
that
this is
doesn't give
perfect.
you
I'm
any
glad you
answers.
found this is a perfect piece of evidence. I mean,
It's
this is
hundred
the
percent,
breadcrumbs
yeah,
right here.
yeah. It's 100%, evidence. Now,
Because you know
let me
what
give
kind of
you an
culture this looks like, you know. Yeah, sorry, continue.
wait, there's more. There's hundreds of these places. Now, people are going to say there's one or two. Now, the thing is, many
Wow.
people don't have a look at. Now, here is an underground, they call it
Oh,
secret reservoir,
where
a
is this?
lost reservoir, blah, blah, blah.
In France. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lost reservoir. There's many of these places that have got. No, I think it's in London, Finsbury Park. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but the thing is, they're saying they built it in the 19th century. Yes, they probably did. Yeah, but if they didn't, now I will show you
The Finsbury
what's
Park
suspicious.
Reservoir. Okay.
Yeah, so now when somebody looks at let's go to Sydney. Yeah, now in Australia. Now here is Australia. Many people in Australia have mentioned this. They are baffled. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
people are going to yeah. This is what Sydney looked like in what year is this? 1840s. Yeah. So Sydney's population in 1840 is how much? According to historians, yeah. What I normally do is I check through pictures, drawings, and we try to make estimates. 35,000 people. So if you cancel the women and the children and the elderly, we've got about 8,000 men. And if they said there was more men there, they've just arrived. Now we've got a serious problem, because do you know what they're going to tell us? This place was built in Sydney,
By
built in
prisoners
18.
and convicts.
Yes,
Hooray.
but
Yeah, they
now
definitely were
have
down
a
to,
look.
they were all
Have a look at
architecturally
this place
astute
that I've just
prisoners,
sent you.
clearly.
They've built this place underground. I think it's by
Oh, wow.
1859 in Sydney.
So imagine you're in
Yeah.
England and you steal some bread and they take you to Australia and they say, all right, I want you to build me an aqueduct or an
Oh,
underground
they were taking people to Australia,
sewer.
but it was for different reasons.
Right.
So
I mean, they're
now
just
the
saying that
problem
they,
is,
yeah,
yeah,
repopulating.
yeah. Now these places are underground. So now the thing is, you know, I could just sit there and I can go crazy for day after day after day trying to figure out how the hell did they build this place?
No, this is
Yeah.
great because
Uh, uh,
everyone wonders about the Aborigine and they say, hey, they have nothing above the ground except for all this decimated, destroyed Northern Territory. But then you look underground and you start to find all these amazing tunnel systems. I mean, this is crazy huge, and it looks a lot more
yeah.
like the Ottoman stuff in, you know,
Yeah.
in
So
Cordoba.
so now the more we look at this, it gets more suspicious. Now let me show you Hong Kong. So
Okay.
now this they're going to turn around and tell you um, um, this is supposed to be in Mongkok in Northern Territories. If people will imagine Hong Kong, if you've not been there, don't imagine it. This is in Mongkok, Mongkok in the Northern
Wow.
Territories.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now, this is underground, and they're going to tell you that the British built this in the 1920s. Now, this is the official history. Now,
Okay,
the
we
thing is,
okay, keep going, sorry.
yeah, in the 1920s. Now, the thing is, anybody who has a look at Mongkok at that time, it's a walled city, and it
Right.
does not look like that the local population was able to build this, and there was no reason for the British to build this in that area, in the specific area that it was built in. Yeah, I examined it myself. I've been there myself several times. If you've not been to the Northern Territories, you know, Kowloon side, Kowloon in
Right.
Mongkok, and to that place in the mountain, then don't try to judge things yourself and imagine things that you've imagined the history,
But I was
because
going to
you're not
ask
going
really
to get
quickly:
anywhere.
are these in the Northern Territory? So these are Uyghur areas, or not? These aren't
No, no,
the.
no. Hong Kong,
This is in
Hong
Hong
Kong is
Kong.
Hong Kong is on the other side. The Uyghurs are on the border with
This is
Russia,
in
and
Hong
they've got,
Kong. Wow.
yeah. This is in Hong Kong in the Northern
And
Territories,
how
and it,
deep is it underground?
It's not. It's deep underground. It's actually inside a mountain, and
Wow.
the mountain's covered up. People can have a look at it, and the way it's covered up, it just doesn't make sense. So
Absolutely
now
not.
the thing is, we can sit there just being baffled, yeah, and you know, just sit there like dumb idiots, not getting anywhere. But now let me show you something. This is when it gets suspicious. Like the tunnels I sent you, this is supposed to be tunnels in Chartres Cathedral. Look how
Hmm.
deep these tunnels are. Oh, they tell you that this is a place for prayer. They've got the benches ready. You know, like once or
Right.
twice a year, they'll have people go there to pray. But have you seen how deep they are?
Yeah, I've gone to some of these underground masses, and they do them in the dark. They
Yeah.
turn off the light when they bless the
Yes.
Eucharist. It's super weird.
Yeah. Yeah. The truth is, they're just pretending. They're just wasting time, so that you never figure things out. So now, if you go to the other side of the world, yeah, the thing is, the thing is, because they're poor. This is a sad thing, but for anybody who's doing research, there's an advantage. I'll explain to you why. If you're going to be studying the churches, the monuments, underground facilities in Europe and America, be sure that the authorities have already been there, modified everything, and they've already dealt with everything. The historians, archaeologists, they're all getting paid. So now the other thing is, yeah, they're doing this in the other side of the world, what we call the Muslim countries, but they've got less
Hmm.
cash to modify things. This is the reason why I started having a look. Now look at this. Now
Wow.
this is they call it Sultan Han Kayseri,
Wow.
and it's a facility above ground and underground. And what they're telling us, these Seljuk people, you know, same middle-aged type of people, came and built this here. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it just and they've got many tunnels and strange things that they called underground
Where's the
mosques.
Sultan Han? Okay, sorry.
It's somewhere in the middle of Turkey. Yeah.
Wow.
But the main thing is it doesn't make sense. Yes. And there's similar tunnels, exactly the same like the Chartres Cathedral tunnel. Let me just. Oh God, I hate it when they turn around and say, "I'm a robot, wasting your time." Um, now, I want you to have a
I
look at
refresh
this.
the page sometimes and that goes away.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't find it online. No. There is a place near. Yes, I found it. Now, I want you to open this and have a look at this and tell me what is the difference between this building here. This is a mosque, underground mosque in Turkey. What is the difference between this, the Moscow Metro and Chartres Cathedral Tunnel, and what do you call it? Water pumping tunnels in London, metro tunnels in New York. What is the difference? Do you see any difference? Or have they just turned it into a mosque? The same like, oh, if you go to Paris, they're going to tell you, oh no, the Paris one is part of the cathedral. Can you smell it now? Yes. So now the thing is, anybody can see this. Now the one in Turkey, because that's in Istanbul, yeah, Istanbul is a bit more, yeah, Istanbul is a bit more wealthier, so they've changed it.
Yeah, it's got better stones.
But,
so that's interesting. You can find the better, yeah, absolutely, more wealth.
but we're talking about it's the same building now. Now the Sultan Han building. If anybody has a look at the arches, will turn around and think, "Damn, this is just medieval." Let me just show you this here. This is in a place called Jerusalem in Tanzania. They pronounce it that. Yeah. Yes. Now the thing is, it's got Gothic arches, and the blocks. I've just sent it you there. Now many people are mystified by this. They turn around and they're going to tell you it's in Africa, and they're going to tell you, oh, this is a mosque. Just have a look at this. But this is not an underground facility. Have you received the one? They call it the Great Mosque of Kilwa. Have you received it?
The Great Mosque of Kilwa, yeah, in Al Fawzan.
It's in Africa. Yeah. Now, the thing is, many people are baffled by this. They can't understand what's going on here. The Gothic arches. Have you received it with the green thing?
Yeah.
With the strange domes on the outside. Now, the thing is, it took me a long time to figure this out. Yeah. The thing is, do you know what they're telling us? Look at this big joke here. I will show you a big joke that they're telling us. Now, imagine right now, everybody is fighting over New York City. We know New York's big. Historians are going to talk about it for many centuries. It was a great, amazing city. Times Square, 24-hour city, downtown Manhattan. You can walk around all night. It's safe, things like this. It's amazing. It's safe in many parts. Yes, not everywhere, but it is. Yeah, generally. Yeah, people will talk about it in the West. In the East, people will talk about Tokyo. It's an amazing city. Have you received that Kilwa thing?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's the same Kilwa, the Great Mosque of Kilwa, the green ground.
Yeah, and the arches.
Right next to it is the interior of the building, which has the same arches exactly.
Yeah. So they're saying it's a mosque that was destroyed. There's no evidence it was a mosque. Now, because we live in the West, the moment somebody mentions the word mosque or Islam, they won't want to know. But do you know what we can do? We can sit there trying to figure out what are these domed buildings throughout Italy, throughout France, throughout Germany, and throughout England and the rest of the world, and we're not going to get anywhere. They've modified everything. They've modified everything. If anybody thinks they haven't, I've sent Chartres Cathedral tunnels. They look exactly the same like the ones in Istanbul, and they're telling us this one's a mosque and this one's a church. Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? And people are going to believe it. But now, the thing is, we did a video on ancient Greece and ancient Egypt, and they've falsified the history. Yeah, which is clear. Now, the thing is, let me just show you this, and you're going to think, what an amazing city. Now, when many people look at this, they imagine the city of Pisa in Italy today. Now, here is Pisa today, where the Leaning Tower of Pisa is. Have you received it?
Right.
Yeah. You can see that there's a great cathedral, then there's a big round building. It looks round, but it's octagonal inside, and then there's a tower there. And you can see it looks like a city, and you imagine this place to be the same 150, 200 years ago. Have you received it?
Right. Now I kind of imagine that there being underground because of this, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I want this is going to shock you. I want you to have a look at the same place 100 years ago. What do you see?
The tower is
it's a ghost town.
Right. Well, yeah, absolutely. There's no one there.
Yeah. So what is the purpose of these buildings? What is the function? Who the hell is going to build these buildings there if it's not a church? That means it's there's a few houses there. They're actually new. Many of the houses around it are new. So why is somebody going to come along and build these Gothic type of structures around there? Now, many people, of course, they don't examine the older photos, But when they do, they imagine things, but they don't look at the surrounding areas, and they
Right.
don't compare these buildings. Yeah. The thing is, you've got to compare them to other side of the world. You've got to, or we're not going to get anywhere. Now, I've just sent you the same church on the interior. It is not a church 100 years ago. There's no benches inside. There's no nothing. They've added on the decorations
Good place
later.
to get on your knees, though. You know, it looks a lot like a
Excuse me?
mosque. It looks like a mosque more than it looks like a church.
Yes, but the thing is now, yes, in the modern cities, in mosques, they've modified them. Yes, the
Mm.
mosques. But now let me show you what this building looks like inside today. I would rather send it you what it looks like today, then you can compare
So they've
the
changed it.
difference. Totally changed. Now here is
Nice.
the cathedral, and
Oh
have a look at
gosh.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got those things
yeah,
hanging from the ceiling. It's like those are on
yeah.
wires in a little.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the coloring, everything.
Yeah.
You've got the benches, everything to
My
make it look
God.
like this has been a church, baptismo for Jesu Christos.
But
In the
even
name
this,
of the
just
Father,
because
the
they
Son,
still,
and the
because of
Holy Spirit.
because the arches still have those checkers, it still has a vibe. It kind of
Yes,
reminds me of the Egyptians or something else. Something like
yeah.
Trojans, some
Well,
sort of
well, now
mythical
what?
non-Christian culture
Yeah,
is still
right next
secretly
door
there.
to the church building, what we've got is this building here. Now the thing is, when somebody looks at this building, yeah, it's an amazing building. It is amazing.
Yeah,
Now, this
and the
building
first
looks
thing you think
amazing.
of is Catholics, and
Yeah,
not
but
right.
the thing is, the similar buildings in India, and
Exactly.
the thing is, when you go inside, they're going to tell you these decorations have been here for centuries. Yeah, the statues, the paintings on the walls, and everything. Now, I've seen a similar building in India that I visited, and not
Wow.
not one but several. Yeah, and the paintings and the things have got Hindu gods, Hindu statues, and Hindu designs. So now the problem is, why is the surrounding area empty? So now the people have just come there recently, and now they're telling you it's a church. But does this mean it was always a church? You see? So now I want you to imagine they're telling us, yes, now some people, yeah, this is not about Islam or Christianity. Now, according to the Muslims and to the Christians and to the Jewish people today, yes, what they have told us, yes, is that there is a city called Jerusalem in the Middle East. And they're telling us that that place has been Jerusalem for centuries, and that they're saying that for 1,000 years there was crusades, and millions of people were fighting over that city. Now here is a photograph of the same city in 1870. Yeah, there's 10,000 people who live there. There's basically 2,500 men. It is not even a village, and it's
Wow.
got
This
lots of
is
domes everywhere.
yeah.
The strange domes. And wait, you're trying to tell me that crusaders are fighting all over France, Germany? God wills it, and they're fighting in the name of God. That you've got to fight for this place, die for this place. People are walking for with their horses, and they're walking on foot for thousands of kilometers,
Those
and they're
domes.
fighting Europe. But wait, do you really think this is Jerusalem?
Where is this?
Can
Where
you
is it?
imagine?
What is this? I mean, exactly.
This is the Jerusalem of today. This is what they're telling us. But look at this place.
Right.
There's nothing there, and they're telling us that even by the 1930s and 40s, yeah, there was immigration from Jewish people coming, and a lot of evangelicals coming, and Protestants, Catholics, and the thing. Even then, yeah, the place is a ghost town. It's not even a town. Yeah, we're talking. You can see in the background the settlements, the buildings are new. Yeah, new settlements, things like that. There's nobody living there, and they are telling us that this is the city. Yes, they're telling us in ancient times. Yeah, people
So
fought the
where?
Crusades.
So I mean, isn't there supposed to be like 2 million Palestinians at this point, according to census records that show? I mean,
No,
isn't
that
that what's
that
supposed to
is
be?
no, that's the entire region you're talking about. What they
Right,
call
but not
Israel
in
and Palestine.
Jerusalem. Just okay,
I'm
and even
talking
God.
about the
Yeah.
city that they call Jerusalem. Now,
Okay.
the suspicious thing is, yeah, we went through
Tel
this
Aviv.
before,
Got it.
showing the paintings. Yeah, all the medieval paintings, yeah, show us that Jerusalem was in Istanbul. Yeah, in Istanbul, and the crucifixion took place there.
Right.
That
Yeah,
there's no
that's.
doubt about it.
I'm convinced.
Yeah, yeah. Here's Andrea Solario. There's many paintings This is one example. Let me send you
Depicting
many more.
the
Yeah.
crossing in Istanbul, right?
We'll go through this faster because we
Behind
went through this
Christ.
before.
Right.
Now, here is
For anyone
an
who doesn't
Italian
remember.
Renaissance painter, Raphael, 16th century, and Marco Bassetti, 16th century. They all show that it happened at the Bosphorus at Istanbul.
The
Yeah.
Bosphorus, and this
Let me
is
send you.
Salem. So, I mean, this is interesting for a lot of reasons that Rome isn't the capital, Constantinople or Istanbul today is,
Yeah,
right?
is the capital. Yeah, so
Right.
there's Pietro Perugino. I've just sent you his paintings, and there's many paintings. Let me send you Giovanni Bellini because people are paying to go to Italy and to Holland, to France, and Germany and Spain just to look at these paintings.
But they're
And
about
you will
Istanbul,
see
about
some.
Christ coming back to Istanbul. That's a lot.
Yes.
That's a
So
lot.
so now I want you to imagine right now. Imagine you are the authorities of Istanbul, and people are fighting crusades there just to take that city.
Yeah.
Then do you know what? After centuries of fighting, do you know what you're going to think? I've had enough. Let's tell people that this is not Jerusalem.
Hmm.
Then do you know what? You send the fighting outside your city. And do you know what you will think? Let's send it to a garbage hole or a shit hole, like Donald Trump will say. Let's send it to the deserts. So now, when they did this, there was a place called Quds about 150 years ago. This was planned by politicians in the Vatican, Muslim politicians, and Christian politicians and Jewish politicians in the past. They said, "Hey, we got a solution because people won't grow up. People won't believe anything, even if you show them the proof. They're just going to have their, like I've seen these evangelical Christians and the Jewish equivalent of evangelical and Jewish equivalent of evangelical Muslims. Let's just call them Muslim evangelicals, Jewish evangelicals, Christian evangelicals, and the end days and the battles and the hatred within them. Yeah. The thing is, it's been 100 years since they moved or changed the name Jerusalem. Istanbul used to be officially was called Jerusalem until 1923. Many people don't know this. It was actually called Jerusalem. They changed the name. But, these evangelicals, what do you call it? They're insane. You cannot, Muslim, Christian, Jewish evangelicals, you can't change them. So now the thing is, you can't change these, and the thing is, let's have a look. According to the Roman historian Tacitus, this is a forgery, but still, these evangelicals believe it. Jerusalem had 1 million people at the time of Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
1 million people. So now you are telling us it had 1 million people. Okay, Mr. Muslim, Christian, Jewish, evangelical. Yes, you're telling us this, and you want us to believe in the end times, Christ, and you'll say you've got your biblical verses. Now, what I've got here is this city that they're calling Jerusalem in the Middle East. By the way, it's called Quds. Yes, and the local people refuse to call it Jerusalem. That's why, you'll see the Israeli army, give them a few slaps saying, hey, this is called Jerusalem. The British did the same thing, give them a few slaps, a few smacks until they submit. Here's a photograph from 1900. You cannot see anything apart from a desert and a village of a couple of hundred buildings. That's it.
And
There is nothing in
it
Europe.
was called
No,
Shalom,
no,
not or Siloam.
no. At the bottom, that's Siloam. That's a name that they've invented today. Oh, do you know what that place is? Oh, this is so disgusting. I don't even want to say it. That place is, a shithole. Yeah, where you dump the sewage. The local Arabs for centuries dump their sewage there.
Oh
Shall I
wow.
show you what evangelicals are doing today when they go there? Yeah. By the way, they go there.
Holy
Um,
water
and
bottles, right? From the water there.
Oh, they
Oh
drink
boy.
this water. They drink this water, and they wash. They pour it over their faces. Yeah, they
Wow.
call it Siloam Tunnel. But nobody checks the old pictures and the old sewage pipelines. Yeah, all the sewage for centuries of the local Arabs that many
Oh boy.
evangelicals hate these Arabs or Muslims, or they hate them anyway. and they're buying this water. Oh
The
yeah,
water's
there's
magic. Yeah.
it's
Well,
magic. It's the sewage water. Sewage water.
yeah, fecal implants, right? That's a big thing for health these days. So, but yeah,
Uh,
this is brutal.
we're talking sewage here.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you'll see evangelical Christians, Jews, and evangelical Muslims. They think that Jesus Christ used to walk along there,
the
and they'll
pool
go
of
there getting
Siloam.
this. Yeah, they'll go there getting this water. And do you know what? So I will show you what the conflict is. So now you'll see many people in Europe and America, and they'll say, "Oh, we don't like these Arabs or Muslims," and they see the conflict and they think it's some type of Armageddon. Now these people there, the local people, are saying, "Hey, what the hell's going on? Are you guys crazy? This is the water, with the toilet water and
Yeah.
all this stuff. Why are you washing it on your faces? There's nothing holy about it." Now,
Oh
the thing
wow.
is, they're going
Interesting.
to tell. Now, the thing is, you can check this officially. Now, CNBC, etc., and all these news channels, they're going to tell you that these tunnels where the water is coming from was the sewage system tunnels, but they lie to you and say Jesus Christ walked this way. You understand? And they'll say this Siloam tunnel, and then they'll say it's ancient. But let me just show you here. Yeah, you'll see that Russian businessmen and American businessmen have invested millions and millions of dollars so that they're going to make profits out of this. People buying flight tickets, people staying in hotels, their hotels, people this and that. So it's making a lot of money. Now you can read it again and again, and you'll find that this pool of Siloam, the water, yeah, the tunnels, they've just put a bit of paint on it, and in many places they've not even bothered to paint it. They've just put it on pavements, and you can read it yourself. It says these tunnels is the drain that took the storm water, not storm water. It's like when you flush your toilet and it's storming down. It's the sewage. When you're in the toilet, you go I've just got it out. I had a stomach ache.
Well, like the official,
Oh,
isn't like the official
the
story
people are
that
going there. They're drinking this. They're
it
drinking
was
this.
supposed to be that like
These evangelical.
Hezekiah or something in Chronicles, right? Hezekiah
This
blocks
is just it's
he
just a
blocks the
forgery.
water so the Assyrians can't invade, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's what they're going to tell you.
I
But
mean
when you read it,
that kind of tells that rhymes with your story though with the Constitution.
but it's official history. They're not going to hide it. They actually write down the drain that took the stormwater and sewage from the old city, and it says now it's cleaned out. And they're telling you Jesus Christ used to walk this way, and the prophets of God used to
I
walk this
mean,
way.
isn't that the story? The Christians were underground, right? Maybe they said they lived in the sewers. I
They were
remember hearing
inside the
that.
sewage tunnels,
I
inside the
remember hearing that
shitholes.
when they were underground, the weather underground Christians, they had to hide out.
Uh,
That's the big
no,
story,
that
right?
was in Rome. That was in Rome. That was in Rome. We're talking about Jerusalem here.
Yeah,
But
but
wait a minute
what
now.
if you see what I mean?
Well, wait. Do you know what to do? I just want you to go down underground in New York. Just go inside these shithole tunnels and see if you can breathe
Have
for
you
a
seen
few
any of
minutes.
those YouTube videos? There's a lot of people that live underground in America. Live underground in New York
Um,
City, live underground in Vegas. There's a lot of
yes,
people.
yes. That's because they're living in. What this is why people differentiate between the mud flood and the underground buildings and roads that are buried compared to the sewage tunnels. There's a difference between sewage, yes, the toilet shithole tunnels, and the normal tunnels. And by the way, let me just show you
Hmm.
what they officially say. So now, even since the 1960s, they tell you what I'm talking about, the water. Yeah, Andreas, I'm going to ask you, are you going to put this water on your face? Even in the 1960s, this
Now
is
I'm weird about the
official.
holy water because I don't know if it's clean. Now I'm even
Is
more
it called
concerned.
holy? Let's just go through the dictionary of the Bible. Yes, this is not made up, invented. So now this place that they call Siloam or Siloam, yes, this water, yeah, is not clean. You could see it's slurry and blackish color and things like this, and it's impregnated full of shit, sewage. If you
Wow.
want to drink it, oh, by the way, you could probably order it online.
And rub it on
Yeah,
your face,
be
right?
my guest. You're welcome, Andreas. If you want to, yeah. And by the way, this is not normal sewage. This is holy shit.
I'm more into
You
that Topo
understand?
Chico Mexican water, but I'll let people order it if they want. I think you've proved your point though that this was probably
No, what? Wait.
completely
I'm
gross
going to send
water.
you History
I just
News
wonder,
Network.
Here's the question though.
NBC.
I got if 100 or 200 years ago or however long there weren't that many people there, maybe at one point this wasn't
It's because
sewage.
Jerusalem is Istanbul. This is the scam. Same like ancient Egypt is a scam, and so is ancient Greece, and so is ancient Israel, so is ancient Lebanon. They're all scamming people. All these countries in the region are making a loads of money. Now, I've just sent you, American History News Network, NBC News. Read what they say. Yeah, these stone walls, this miracle pool, is just old sewage. It's just old shit.
Wow.
Yeah, let's see History News Network. It is the central sewage line of all the Arab toilet shit and the Muslim shit for centuries. And today, these evangelicals who don't even like these Muslims, you know them, many of them
They're
don't
bathing
like
in it.
Muslims.
Wow.
Oh, they're drinking it, putting it on their face and saying,
Poetic.
praise be to God. Hallelujah. What
Poetic.
the hell's going on here? Yes. So now even Wikipedia, or even Jewish News. And let me just open up. What do they say? In case somebody says David's making this up. Let's see what they say, because the Jews aren't going to lie. Yeah. Let's see now. So, about this. Yeah. Why will they lie about this now? Jerusalem underground sewage channels that are linking to Siloam. Yeah, and this is Jewish News in England, and it says the whole thing, it smells, it bloody stinks of bloody shit. This is the reality.
It
Oh,
smells.
yes. So the thing is, now, but wait a minute, yeah. Hallelujah, praise the Lord thy God, he loves thee, and this is holy.
But this is
You see?
but then what does
This
that mean?
is what's
means that
causing the conflict.
but
Because
the
do you know
actual
there's
but the actual strait in Istanbul, is that supposed to be then like the where the pure water comes from, or where's the pure water supposed to come from, or is that just some why are they
Yeah,
obsessed with this spot?
I'm going to go through that in a
Okay.
minute. Now, another thing is, what's even worse is, by the time you've gone through those tunnels, yes, now this is the most strangest bit, you arrive at what they call the old Temple of Jerusalem in this village that doesn't look like Jerusalem. And mysteriously, it is known as the Dung Gate, or the Gate of Shit. I'm being serious to you, because this is where the sewage went out, and this is where everybody will come towards, and they're going to pray. Yes. And wait, let's have a look through these tunnels where they say Hezekiah's tunnel. They say the prophets of God and the saints of God walk through the shit.
Okay, at
Yeah,
first it
have a
seemed
look.
gross, but now it seems like a plot point. Like we're talking about
It's a
the
business. It's a
well
business.
but the
Hey,
bile
like
demon,
you
right?
said,
The
do you know what
Grusalov.
you told me, Andreas? I liked your idea. It's because we got to think now. We can go, like, if you have any investors in America, I've got some investors too. Do you know what we should do? Let's go buy some sewage tunnels and we'll turn them into holy
Well,
tunnels.
are you familiar
We
with the
can do it ourselves.
Golgathon? The
Do you know what we
Golgathon.
can say? Jesus Christ, after he resurrected, he walked through here. We can invent a story.
Right, but I mean, of all places to be, so the Golgathon is a demon made of bile and made of feces, right? That rises up out of the sewage, and so it seems interesting that you would put the worship of their Lord at the place where it would be convenient to use black magic.
Oh wait, we're
to
talking
raise
about
demons.
businessmen here, Andreas. Businessmen. My
Yeah,
family do business.
millionaires
We
don't
don't
use
care.
astrology.
We
Billionaires
don't
do, I
care
think.
about the
JP
mythology.
Morgan said.
Do you know what we will do? We will invent the mythology. If you've got some people who want to invest, I know some places where the sewage tunnels that are closed now. Yeah. If there's any investors, please contact me straight away. Yeah, we can buy some sewage tunnels. Don't worry, only a few thousand people will listen to this interview. And do you know what? We will say after the resurrection, Jesus Christ and the disciples walked through this shit tunnel. And by the way, I sent you a photograph of this sewage tunnel. And do you know what they're telling you? Yes, let me send you Israel News.
It's going to be
and
more
things
important
like this.
than
You know
Jesus.
what?
It'll be like Paul McCartney or something raised from
Who
the dead.
cares? This is money. A business is business. Andreas, money is money.
Money is
Come
money.
on. Who cares? These people are crazy anyway, these evangelical Muslims and Christians.
You can walk around the dry sewer. Hooray.
Oh, don't worry. This shit is dry.
I think you have a point,
Don't
though. You could
worry
actually
about it.
definitely
It's
make
dry
some money
now.
off a tour. I mean, who doesn't want to walk
Yeah,
around
it's
that?
not the tour. Wait, it is not the tour. You don't seem to get this. One, they pay tickets for that too. They're paying for the flight tickets. So, the
But they
flight
want
agencies, they're going
souvenirs.
to have to pay us.
They want
No,
souvenirs.
no,
They want
wait.
stuff.
Right, right, wait a minute. When somebody's paying $1,000 for a flight ticket, yes, then do you know what? Your tourist agency gets a share. You don't know how this business works. Everyone thinks it's just the souvenirs, this and that. No, it's not. Now, the city municipal authorities in Israel, Jerusalem authorities, they're going to pay you too. Many people are going to pay us just for our tunnel. Even if nobody visits our tunnel, we will get a commission percentage as long as we keep it going. The resurrection tunnel. Let's do it,
The
Andreas.
Resurrection
Why not?
Tunnel. Yes, yes.
Yes, he's going to make lots of money, millions of dollars. And if we don't make it, our grandchildren will make the billions, because this is going to be big. Oh, do you know what's going to happen for our tunnel? If there's some of these Arabs or Muslims living above, don't worry. We've got the Israeli army to bulldoze their houses and throw them out.
Wow.
Don't worry, they'll end up in Europe and America anyway as refugees. They're going to be okay.
Happening.
We'll make our money.
That's what's going on. Yeah. Why would we miss
that
out?
is what's going on. So now the thing is, I'm sorry I interrupted you several times. It's because, do you know what they're telling us? This is just a big joke. So now let me go through these so-called ancient historical tunnels, that are under Temple Mount. I just love these because, do you know what? They're exactly the same like the tunnels I've shown you in New York. And they're going to tell us, no, the ones in Jerusalem are 3,000 years old, but the ones in New York are Tartarian. And this is because you're biased by religion. You just want to focus on religion. Now, somebody else is going to say, oh, David's trying to go against religion. No, I will tell you personally, I believe a guy called Jesus Christ existed. I believe that he was amazing. And maybe, I can't prove it, but I've got my personal beliefs and convictions that he did miracles and that maybe he had contact with somebody who they call the Creator. I personally think this. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is a personal belief, but I'm not going to push this. Now, the thing is, on the other side, when it comes to Judaism, I don't know which way to go because Judaism rejects Jesus Christ. Now, there are certain things in Judaism whereby I see Moshe or Moses, the prophet Moses, as somebody amazing, that he brought freedom to the world and that he brought, not brought at that time, and he actually laid down the foundations for our civilizations for the concept of freedom, what we call, human rights and freedom. That man shall be free. I'm not going to believe in the American Constitution. So Judaism has affected me in that way. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Islam, I'm not going to lie. That I found that within Islam, within Islam, that they believe in one God, just one God on its own, without adding any other forms of worship, or idolizing anything else like statues or monuments. And I find that amazing. And I believe in the Alpha and the Omega. And I found that they are the only ones who've kept the original concept of the European heritage and the European peoples of the Alpha and the Omega. They are the only ones who are using this. So now I'm attracted to that, and I believe in that Alpha and Omega that is known as Allah, and I believe in that. And I am not willing to compromise that and say it is Eli or Eli, even if it's whatever documents you bring me. It's because I know the Alpha and the Omega is the letter A. So no matter what, I'm not going to say it's Elah. So now I've just sent you underneath the Temple Mount, that they're telling us this is Jerusalem. Now the thing is, let me show you what the British did. They went with guns to that place, and before that they had their people, engineers from the British Army. They went there, to the Wailing Wall,
the Royal Engineers.
So he went under Temple Mount, and let me just show you how amazing Temple Mount was. There's going to be all these Christians, Jews, and Muslims who are going to turn around and say, they found the Ark of the Covenant, they found Solomon's Temple, they found this, they found that. Shall I tell you what he found? Yes, he said, what I found under there, a dark space, a tunnel underneath a lot of dirt and debris, and what I found is the drainage sewage from the houses above. The stench was unbearable. I found some old doors, him and his assistants, and then we floated. They had to take wood because there's that much sewage there. Same like, we're talking 10,000 people sewage over the dirty waters. We put the first door of the sewage because they talk wooden doors so that they don't drown. And he said, we're so slippery. And he said, what do you call it? Yeah, yeah. And he said, what honor is there going to be of dying like a rat in a pool of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because people, yeah, and there's no reason he's going to lie. Yes, not only him, but many people have been under the Temple Mount. They've been, and all they found is sewage.
Wow.
Yes. So the thing is, now the Temple Mount. Let me just show you. This is very important. I've got no time to hear the criticism of religious people within Judaism, Christianity, and Islam who are going to say, no, this is some amazing place. It's something to do with religion. Because now the thing is, we went through this before about Temple Mount, that the building inside, yeah, there's many buildings in Europe that are similar. And let me just show you Temple Mount from the air, what it looks like. Now the thing is, when you look at the Temple Mount and the design and the layout and the buildings, it is similar to Pisa in the Pisa in Italy and in other places where you have a cathedral and you have other buildings with arches and a central round octagonal building. Now, I've not sent all the information here. This is in my new book called Jerusalem is in Europe, and in some of my other books like The Last Crusade and Jesus Christ. Now the thing is, this looks like a Temple Mount to people.
Hello, can
but
you hear
actually,
me?
if you go there, it's not a Temple Mount. It's actually just on top of a hill, and they've just put a wall around it. And those are not protective walls of a city. Are you trying to tell me those are Crusader walls that people couldn't break, and they're fighting? There are millions of people fighting for centuries. Dream on. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just fake history. Yeah. So anyway, let me show you what's going on in these sewage tunnels. Now the thing is, somebody is going to turn around and say, no, David is lying. Yes, underneath Temple Mount, I'm not willing to believe this. So now let me show you an example of sewage tunnels in the United States. Because somebody's going to say, oh, David, is saying this because he's against Christianity, against Islam, against Judaism. Because all three religions, all three of them, are trying to talk about that this is Armageddon, this is that, the final decider, or people are fighting about it, and they're showing us a few videos. Shall I be honest with you? I've been to Israel myself. You can see many videos online. Yes, there is atrocities on all sides by Christians, Muslims, and Jews. I've seen evangelical tourists. Yeah, you'll find videos online who are going there attacking local Arabs. Oh, just to put this water of shit, holy water. Sorry, it's holy. It's blessed with the local Arabs, whatever. And you could see them attacking local Arabs, swearing at them. Yeah, I don't understand. If you're going to be drinking their plot, yeah, why are you going to treat them like that? Oh, they're the ones who are laughing at you, by the way. Yes, they're the ones who are laughing at you. Yes. And there's these evangelicals who are making these videos and they're laughing. The truth is, they are the ones who are being laughed at. So now I've
It makes
taken
a lot
an
of sense,
example
though. These are like reset kind of architecture. You
do,
take these buildings.
do you know what's even worse? You can find contracts, yes, that after World War I of the Muslim elite, Muslim politicians, with British politicians, with Jewish politicians, that they said, we're going to scam people. They don't write the word scam, but they're going to make this place Jerusalem, to make this money. This has been a project for 100 years. You can find these contracts after World War I. I'm going to share these with you because some people are going to think David's just making this up. Yeah. So the thing is, if you want, know the water's holy. Yes, there's Armageddon, blah blah blah. Go ahead. Go and drink it. The pool of Siloam is there. Please put it all over your face and post the videos online. Yes, please do it. Yeah, let the world see that it's holy. Yes, this is the pilgrimage water that Christ himself put, because this is what they're teaching people. So now the Western Wall, or these tunnels underneath Temple Mount on the Western Wall, yeah. So these tunnels are there, and they go. And what is the official history? These tunnels directly go under the homes from the Muslim houses. You can read it. Located under buildings of the Muslim quarter, these tunnels go, and it carried the sewage. These tunnels are going from there, and then the sewage goes all the way to Siloam. Now let's look at how these sewage tunnels look today. Now, when you go to Jerusalem, you will go there and they look exactly the same like the sewage tunnels in Chicago, New York, or somewhere else. Now, somebody's going to say, they look a little bit different. Oh, the stones are big and huge. Oh, you really think so? Oh, these stones must be from King Solomon, King David's times. They're amazing. How did they move these big stones and rocks? In the 1970s and 80s, the Muslim politicians and Jewish and American politicians, they've got their secret agreements at the top. They modified this place. Look at them bringing the big blocks inside to make it look big. Oh yeah, and just in the 80s, things like this. They're still doing this today. Have you got the pictures of them redecorating these tunnels?
Right. This is amazing.
Have a look.
Turn
They're putting
sewers
bigger
into
blocks.
churches for people to worship in. Wow.
Just to show you that this is Jerusalem. So go ahead, be my guest. Oh, let's look at the finished end result. I like this one because I think people should have a look at some of the original videos and pictures of Mike Pompeo and Bibi Netanyahu going there. And the thing is, you can see it in their face.
That's
you
a
can
nice
see.
sewer.
Oh, this is it. Yes, you can see it in Pompeo's face. He's dying to laugh.
I can't believe we did
he
this.
Represents. Huh?
He's like, I can't believe we got away with this.
Oh, by the way, do you know what the worst thing is? I don't know many of these evangelicals. There's one evangelical video, and he's laughing from the opposite point of view, laughing at the local people. But the thing is, I'm laughing at the scam. I'm not laughing at the victims who've been politicized, because I think the evangelicals have fallen victim. I feel the Jewish people have fallen victim. Actually, I'm laughing right now.
Well, it seems like the entire world has fallen victim to being told that these ancient ruins are something they're not, and then creating these real, turning these tunnels into these fake ruins.
Yeah, when Professor Fomenko turned on and said that this is a scam, yeah, I always believed it. And I not only believed it, he presented the evidence. But now when you write your own book and you have to look at each of the photographs yourself and you have to research it yourself, like PhD students have to write a thesis. Each one of my books is like a thesis where you have to present the evidence and go through the evidence yourself. So now when I'm doing this myself and I can see it with my own eyes, do you know what? I've got many friends. I was actually angry, and basically, my heart went crazy for a week because I thought, I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe. I don't even want. Do you know what? People are going to have to check the names of the billionaires who've invested in these projects. Yeah, and they'll be shocked and say these people have got nothing to do with Judaism and Christianity. Yes. And then they're going to turn around and think, damn, this is one of the biggest jokes ever. And let me just show you what Muslims and Jewish people are doing when they go there. They're actually praying inside these tunnels. They're praying for the return of Christ, the return of the third temple, or something like this. I'm going to send you Chicago sewer tunnel and compare it to what's underneath the Western Wall. Yeah? Tell me, what is the difference, guys? What is the difference? Oh, yeah, they're looking. Yeah, you'll see the tourists, and they're looking at the hole, and they think that place, they turn around and say, the Romans had some ancient whatever there. Actually, it's same like you're at the Chicago sewers, and you're looking down, and they tell you, Christ, Jesus Christ, and all these ancient pilgrims, or ancient Christians, ancient Jews that were hiding from the Romans. Get real. Can you see it yourself? What is the difference? Andreas, is there a difference?
I mean,
even in the masonry. I don't
not
even
in the
see.
masonry, nothing. You can't see it.
And they're telling us that this is 3,000 years ago. So now let's go to, people can read the British Royal Engineers, or what are they going to say? The Royal Engineers, I know what Muslim apologetics are going to say, or Muslim deniers. They're going to say, the British invented this, and they're lying. Yeah.
We know the Muslims had a lot of sewers and bathhouses.
No, wait. By the way, this is the same when you go to Pizza.
Hmm.
You see? So this means, what is that church building? They've modified it into a church, brought the benches, decorated it. I showed you that because now, do you know when we go to Jerusalem on top of Temple Mount, or what they call Temple Mount? Now, the strange thing is, there's a building on top of there that is, it actually, yes. Now, the thing is, we will not understand Gothic churches until we understand the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's a building there that has got Gothic bricks and everything, and they're telling us this is a mosque. Oh, by the way, this is on top of Temple Mount. Have you received the picture?
Right.
They call it Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, you can see it's exactly the same like buildings in Europe. Now,
Right.
what is this doing? It's next door to the building called the Golden Dome. Or let me just show you the fraud of the Golden Dome. What they're going to tell you is that this building, let me just show you the fraud of this. They're telling us that this is the Dome of Rock, and it's got the rock inside, the rock of Abraham, the rock of who is it? The Prophet Isaac went there for the Muslims. The Prophet Muhammad may or may not have been there, but they say something like this. Now, the strange thing is, historians are going to say, sorry, this is a mistake, but anybody who looks at 19th century documents, this building didn't have a golden rock, and it was not even called the Dome of Rock. It was just called the Mosque of Umar. It was just a plain mosque that there's nothing there. And not only that, let's go to old photographs of this building. They've redecorated the place. The building had Arabic writing, and the building is probably, another 100 or 200 years old. That it was something else that I showed you last time. It looks like a water pumping station inside, exactly the same.
Right.
But now, because to go inside this building, you've got to be a Muslim you've got to be a Muslim. Christians and Jews aren't allowed. So now I will explain to you why. So now, do you know what people tell us? I want you to have a look at this. They're telling us this is the cornerstone or the rock or whatever inside this building, and people are going crazy about it. Can you see this? Have you seen this rock?
Yeah. What is this? This looks really like.
Yeah, that's inside that building on Temple Mount. They're telling us this is the holy of the holies, the most holy place of the ancient temple, blah, blah, blah. Yes, anybody will fall for this. Yes, but I want you to look carefully. Can you see the rectangles all over that?
Yeah, like kind of cut out or brick.
Yeah. So they're telling us it's one stone, but anybody who's got a bit of a brain will realize that it's several blocks there. And then when you look at it, yeah, what you can see is on top of the several blocks, somebody has put cement or concrete on top.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at first, somebody's going to say, no, David, I don't believe this. This rock has been inside this building for 1,000 years. This is what they tell you. They're telling us that rock has been there for 1,000 years, basically 1,000 years. Let me see when this mosque was built. They're telling us the Dome of Rock with this gold thing, when was it built? Yeah, because this is in my book, Jerusalem is in Europe. So now the thing is, construction started in the 7th century. It's been there for more than 1,000 years. So now this rock has been inside this building. The Muslims are saying it's so holy, so are the Christians and the Jews, that nobody has touched this rock and nobody has modified it in 1,300 years. Yes, but now when you look at this from the side view, this is in my book, Jerusalem is in Europe. So now let me send you what we find on the side view. Yeah, let me show you what's inside. Now, because Muslims can go inside the building, yeah, they're going to modify this now, because now that I'm speaking about it, other people are going to, so they're really going to modify it, and they'll soon delete these videos online, so people will have to check them. Yes, I will. It took me a nightmare to get this information, because Fomenko turned around and said it's a fraud, that's not Jerusalem, and he presented the evidence. So I thought I'd check it. So now inside this Dome of Rock building, they're telling us this is the foundation stone. You can see the cracks, it's different blocks. Somebody's poured cement over it. And now I've pointed arrows towards, there's glass walls there. Yeah, it's because you can go under the stone. You can actually go underground. So now there's one floor underground in this building. So now the thing is, what I did is I used Google Translate. It was a nightmare for me. And I translated visiting inside the Dome of Rock and into Arabic language. But I had to use it in their language, and they call it Al-Sakra or Al-Sakra Mosque. Sakra means sacred, or the Germanic word sacred came from that Arabic word because the Germans used Arabic also. But of course, people will say it came from another language. I've got no time to debate this. You can check this yourself. So now, when you go downstairs, I pointed out the two glass parts, yes, that you can go downstairs. Now, if you're going downstairs on this side, what you'll notice, it looks totally normal. And you could see the glass in the background. Yeah, you can see the glass in the background, and the rock or the foundation rock is there. Now, because it's a round building, octagonal, have you received it to go downstairs, the stairs?
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's normal. It's normal. It's
right.
normal. Now, if you went to the other side, because it's an octagonal 360 degrees, there's two stairs to go downstairs it. Now, there's these videos. People can check them online. Yeah, I've not made these videos myself. Look at the other side.
Right.
You can see the cement and the concrete that was poured over the rock. You can see there's a glass there. Yeah, that's the glass on the other picture. Can you see the cement and the concrete is actually falling off the stone? That means the cement and the concrete has been placed there in the last 100 years. You can find many videos of this, of people walking into the thing there. This cement and concrete has not been there for centuries. They're lying. Yeah, and that you can actually see that there's wires going through the cement and the concrete in the videos. Yeah, that's going inside the foundation rock itself.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. You'd have to do that, or the thing could fall apart, right? Like, how do you know this is safe otherwise, unless you reinforce it with concrete?
No, wait a minute. The rock is supposed to be one piece. The Muslims built this building, and then they put the rock on top of there. It's like we've just built a house, and we brought the rock inside the house. Yes. So now the thing is, you can even see that it's melted all over there. That on one side you can see. Have a look again on this side. You can see the glass thing there and everything. That you can go underground. There is nothing there. Now the thing is, on this side you can see after they built this thing that you can see that the cement and the concrete, yeah, that they placed it on top of the bricks, that it's melted and it's on top of the floor. Can you see it?
Definitely.
There's many videos. They will delete them if people like you and me are talking about this, because we know now. So
that's
they're
crazy
going to,
that's such a big deal for them that they have to lie about it. I mean,
this is a big this is
their
so
whole big. Yeah, it's their religion's based on it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm sorry, I don't mean it's crazy. I just mean wow.
Whose religion? The Christians, the Jews, and the Muslims. All three of them.
Right. Exactly.
Now the Muslims have not,
humans,
but the Muslims don't have this in the Quran. So the Muslims have an advantage.
Yeah.
The Christians and the Jews have based this foundation stone on the new temple, the Holy of the Holies. It's a fraud.
But yeah, it's inferred.
It's a total fraud.
Exactly.
And it is dishonest and it's a scam. Now the worst thing is, if people think that this wasn't planned and organized, let me show you now. The thing is, when the British took over this place from the Turks, they invaded. Now check this out. They made the British Governor General, the military authorities, when they modified this place, this is the only time they could have done it. Storrs, he's named General Storrs. Yeah, he wanted to restore Jerusalem because before then you couldn't find this Jerusalem. It's a village. It's a village. Yes. So you're bringing immigration. You know what he did? Yeah, the politicians of the Muslims, the Jews, the Christians, the Armenians, and he said, an uncommon union. Yes, and it was called the Jerusalem Society. An uncommon union, and what they did is they modified the entire city. This is only in the 1930s that you can find pictures of they modified the walls, they put stone walls, they put stone buildings everywhere, etc., ready for tourists. It's a business project. Oh, it was financed by the billionaire company, people like Thomas Cook. By the way, Thomas Cook. Let's just have a look at these companies because people are going to think I'm making it up. Let's have a look at these people, who these billionaires are, who finance these projects. Yeah, that's why I said, Andreas, I've publicly declared if anybody wants to invest with me, we can go and buy a sewage tunnel, disused sewage tunnel on Arab land. Oh, don't worry. We'll pay an Israeli general or somebody to throw the people out of their houses. Who
I'm
cares?
definitely into it.
They'll end up
Let's do it, David.
It's
Seems
going to
like it'd be
make a
fun
lot
to
because
travel with you.
do you know, it's not about travel. People don't want the truth. Do you know what? People don't want the truth. They want this sewage. They like this. They're even drinking it. So now Thomas Cook, they did over $10 billion in 2018. Let's have a look at this. Thomas Cook did his first, sent his first tourists, 12,000 of them in the 19th century to Egypt and Palestine. Yeah, he had contracts with the Muslim politicians, and his son lived in Jerusalem, Istanbul. Yes, I'm being serious to you. So now, do you know what they did? If you have a look at it, this is from the Open University, the newly invented sites in the Holy Land. Yes, so that they can make value out of it. Valorization means, you know, how to make money out of these places. So now when the Protestant pilgrims went there, they thought, what the hell is going on? We cannot find these holy places. They couldn't find Hebron. So do you know what? There's a Muslim village there called Halil. So they just changed the name and said, oh, this is called Hebron. It's like, you know, can you imagine right now? I cannot find Beijing. So you know what? I arrive in the United States. Washington, D.C., change the name immediately. You see? That's what they did. They changed the names of all the places. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because how else are you going to make this money? Oh, by the way, we're talking about Protestant businessmen came here. Yes? So the thing is, oh wait, let me show you how much this has to do with business. It's a lot about money, because soon you're going to see, if we want to do this business, don't worry. Yeah, I've met you know, people from consuls and embassies before, because my family are involved in business. Let me show you now. So now Thomas Cook, yes, and not only him, other billionaires who were involved in 1882. They, the Egyptians, you know, a few Egyptians, they couldn't, they weren't getting what they wanted. Make these fake hieroglyphics, make these fake Egyptian temples, do the fake decorations. You know, it's in my book, Ancient Egypt Did Not Exist. Yes, and the thing is, you know, the Muslims were a bit slow, and the thing is, they couldn't get this done. So you know what? Yes, what do you call it? Yes, the British invaded, and that's because Thomas Cook invaded, not the British. You understood? Thomas Cook and other billionaires, they invaded.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, at the same time, the American embassy was run by Thomas Cook.
Thomas Cook.
Yeah, the American embassy is run by him. So this means, who is running the American embassy in London today? People think there is an American government. That's why there's the Donald Trump codes. Read it. I wrote these things, you know, showing all the 19s, because those people are just actors for businessmen. We are the businessmen, Andreas. The normal people are the people who believe anything that businessmen are going to say. Or if they don't believe, we've got our people, armies and things like this. Oh, it's called, you know, human rights, human speeches. Oh, you can't speak against this. This is anti-religious or anti-this or anti-that. So now Thomas Cook's handbook to Palestine and Syria, they changed the names. No place called Damascus existed in the area, so they just changed the name of another village there that's grown into a city. You're going to start laughing. Yeah, you're going to think, how the hell could they do this? Yeah. The thing is, Damascus is called Al-Sham. Yes, that the Turks and the Arabs and local people have called it Al-Sham for centuries. Like the local people call that place Quds. Yeah, so they called it. And what do you call it, Andreas? If we cannot find, you know, Hong Kong, yeah, don't worry, Los Angeles can become Hong Kong. No, San Francisco looks more like Hong Kong. It's, you know, when we want to change things. So that's what they did. So they found, they found, you know, Hong Kong. So now when we're talking about the Pool of Siloam and all these things, the real Pool of Shalom, all these things are in Istanbul, and they are amazing. Yes. They are so amazing that they're underground, and we don't know how the hell they built these places. And they're so big that there's enough water for millions of people. That's one. This is one. It's in Istanbul. And Istanbul was called Jerusalem even in the Bible. This is the Basilica Cistern. Yeah. They're saying it's from the 5th or 6th century. Yeah. And they've given it a fake history saying the Romans built it. It's just a lie. Here is the Theodosia cistern. Look at these amazing, amazing pools for pilgrims. Can you see? They're teaching us a lot of crap. They're taking you to sewage places now because they've got no alternative. Unless if they're willing to spend hundreds of millions to build places like this. Look at this place.
Right.
This is the cistern of Philoxenos. These are there. Now, if somebody says that I'm just making this up, let's have a look at what the Bible says. Now, the Vulgate Bible, have you heard of the Vulgate?
Mhm.
Vulgate?
Right.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, the Vulgate Bible is the known, it's supposed to be by St. Jerome, and they say this is the oldest Old Testament being used by the church. According to the church, this is why the Vulgate Bible is so important, because they say this is the oldest one, and things like this. Yeah. And the Vulgate Bible is the main Bible used by the Roman Catholic Church, or the majority of the Christians, according to official history, which is a lie, but according to them, this is their Bible. Now, if you open up the Vulgate Bible, it tells you where Jerusalem is.
Oh.
It tells you Jerusalem is located at the Bosphorus in Istanbul. So for 1,500 years in Christianity, they knew it was in Istanbul until after World War I. Until businessmen like you and me, we decided
we had to clean that up a bit.
Yeah, we'll clean these sewage tunnels. So we clean the sewage tunnels a little bit because we need to make money.
It's
and these crusades
more
and what? Because the crusades and look, Andreas, the Balkans became ridiculous. There was a war in the Balkans every year for 1,000 years, and the local people can verify this. There were massacres, chopping off heads. It was ridiculous. So they sent it to the desert, to a village where you can control these religious, crazy, insane idiots. Because they are violent. You want to see what these people are doing? Let me just show you what some of these Muslims, Christians, and Jews are doing. Yeah, you hear it on the news all the time. There's violence in the Middle East. A lot of these is by
religious radicals.
By
universal religious radicals. Abrahamic.
Yeah. A lot of them believe are actually coming from the United States, England, which it's so sad to say. But the thing is, let's have a look at this. A lot of these is not the local people. Yeah, right. It's like what's going on is you'll see American people who will go there and they're just going to suddenly attack local people and saying, "Get out of here! This is the Holy Land." They call them names like scarabs. They call them dirty and things like this. And oh yeah, they're very clean. They're drinking the sewage water. Yeah. So the thing is, you will see here. You will see the local people that are fighting back, and then the thing is, many people think they're thinking it's to do with only with Zionism. It's nothing to do with Zionism. Zionism does have some good principles, if anybody bothers to check. Yes, it's because, for example, well, that's a long story. I'm not going to go into it. Has Zionism made big errors and big mistakes? Yes. Has Zionism become political now in Israel? Yes. And Netanyahu and all these other people who are in power, yeah, they're linked to business. It's nothing to do with what the principles of Zionism originally were. Because when Zionism was first made, there was many Muslims who supported this, thinking, hey, these people are getting massacred in Europe. We've got to help them. So it started off as something charitable. But now the thing is, it's become so crazy now that what we're talking about is we're talking about that Americans, Europeans who are going there are attacking local people, that even the Israeli army cannot stop these people. Yeah, because it's to do with a lot of money. Now, the Israeli army has done many things that would be classified as human rights abuses at the United Nations. They've reported this. But not all Israeli soldiers are involved in this. Yes, many soldiers are forced to join the army. Many soldiers don't want to do anything, but what can you do? Now, a lot of the thing is, we're talking about, unfortunately, from our side of the world, yes, yeah, tourists who were going there, yes, who are just becoming ridiculous. that tourists are involved in the violence now too. Yes, which is just becoming ridiculous because they're fighting over, toilet shithole tunnels, which is sad. Now this is the western side of the Temple Mount. On the eastern side, yes, is a totally different side, where there is actually water wells, and the Muslims have transformed them into mosques. Yes, but there was water wells there because if anybody has a look at the old photographs and the old maps of Jerusalem, because or what they call Jerusalem, it was just a village, Quds, 10,000 people. So now these people have got to eat. They're sending the sewage out. The eastern side, the western side is the Wailing Wall, and the sewage went to Siloam. Today, there's houses in that area. Now, what you will see is that there's farmland. It's a dry land and there's no water there. So inside the Temple Mount, same like what you will find in all these cathedrals in Europe, yeah, you will find there's water cisterns. Now, there was water cisterns underneath, but the Muslims are claiming that they're mosques, yeah, or they've been mosques for centuries, which is a total lie. Yeah, let me just find this to show this. What's that place called? I'm going to have to find it. Yeah, because Muslim politicians are involved too. So the thing is, let me just show you now. What they've done is the fraud inside in Temple Mount on the other side, on the eastern side, the Muslims are claiming that there is a mosque there called Al-Rahma Mosque, but old photographs of it shows that no mosque existed there in the 19th century. Yes, that it was a place for water storage. It was a cistern. Yes, so now the thing is that you will find similar water cisterns, yeah, or underground facilities, yes, in Europe. So if somebody is going to say, oh, this is the evidence King Solomon built this, I found it, man. No, because we've got hundreds of buildings like this throughout Europe. For example, here is Church of Santa Eusebio in Pavia, Italy. The same arches, the same masonry, and it was used, what do you call it? They're going to turn around and say, they're going to give you some fake story that this is a cathedral, an Arian cathedral of the followers of Aaron. Yeah, yeah, but the truth is, it was a water storage, water cistern for farming. It's a long story. So now,
the thing is, that was again the first thing I saw. I was thinking nilometers, and it's interesting. Makes way more sense.
Yeah. Now on the southeastern side of Temple Mount, underground on the other side, on the western side, it's sewage tunnels. Now on the center, last time we had a look, that it looks like there should be a water pump inside this Dome of Rock or Mosque of Omar, a water pump, so that then you can force the sewage out of the city and you can distribute water. And then on the eastern side, as I showed you, it's farmland. You need to grow food. This is in every European settlement, Modena, Parma, yes, in villages in France, in Germany. It's the same thing. So now there is another water storage facility, but today it's called Al Marwani Mosque. Oh, do you know what they're telling us? They're saying, oh, this used to be King Solomon's stables, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but no, unfortunately, I'm sorry. Yeah, so now I'm going to compare the same place, that is in southeastern part of Temple Mount, and let's compare it. Yeah, and they're telling us this was Solomon's stables. Now, what I've gone to is a village that today is a city called Ramla in Israel, not Ramallah, Ramla. We will find a similar underground facility that's below another so-called mosque or church, and it's got the same masonry, and water is still there because they've not converted it into a mosque or church, and you'll see water there. It was water storage. Oh, by the way, if somebody says that's not enough evidence, there's hundreds, maybe several thousand in Europe. Yeah, you'll find them all over Europe where people stored water. This is Denmark. They claim they built this in 1856 in Copenhagen. So let's have a look in other places. In Greece, in Crete. Now they're going to say this was built by the ancient Romans. Now this is exactly the same like what's under Temple Mount. Oh no, but this is a water storage cistern in Crete. But under Temple Mount, they're going to say, this is King Solomon's great army. This is where it will be Armageddon. Evangelicals, blah, 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 Christ. Or King David, King Solomon, Judaism. Islam, this is going to be the return of the Antichrist.
Get
What
your
they
water
call the
bottles.
Dajjal.
Right.
They stored the water here for farming, guys. I'm very sorry. This Al-Marwani Mosque is a fraud. It's been built there recently by agreement with politicians, the Muslim politicians, Jewish and Christian politicians, saying bring more Muslims here. At the same time, we're going to bring more Christians and Jews. And while they throw stones at each other and things like this, yeah, we're going to show the whole world there is a mega conflict here. Yes, and then everybody's going to think this must be Armageddon. This is true. The prophecies in the Bible. Read thou this, or this is in Isaiah, this is in Ezekiel. But I've got some news for you. Yeah. Now the strange thing is, yeah, many people don't even open the Bible. And I've heard these Muslims before, and evangelicals and Judaism and Christianity has denied this. Yeah. Now the thing is, the Bible is supposed to be written in Hebrew. And the name Muhammad is clearly there. Like, for example, here is the Song of Solomon. Now, the thing is, I'll go through this very fast with you. Now, the thing is, because this is a shock. Now, the thing is, this is in one place in the Bible. But now the conspiracy of the Muslim politicians and the elite. Now, if the Muslims are out to destroy Christianity and Judaism, then they will tell you what I'm telling you now. Now, all these Muslim great politicians and great researchers have not mentioned what I'm going to tell you. This means that they want the conflict to continue because it makes money. You see, it keeps them in power. Now let me show you, according to biblical manuscripts, this is how you will write down the name Muhammad, even in modern Hebrew today. These are the characters, the shapes, if nobody knows. Now, I checked myself, and this is in my book, Jesus Lived in Europe. I checked myself. I found the name Muhammad is throughout the Old Testament.
This is nuts because of all places to find it in the Song of Solomon, though, because everyone's always like, why is the Song of Solomon in the Bible? It's this weird, profane
Forget the Song of Solomon.
poem.
Let's go through these Armageddon prediction books, Isaiah, Ezekiel, and all these other books.
I mean, but that's pretty crazy.
The book of Joel. Here's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 3. The name of Muhammad is there.
I remember now. That's super crazy, though, because it's the first time I remember when I read the Song of Solomon in, like, 6th grade. The part where she says, my sweet one, is translated because they had, like, a New English version translation.
Oh, they're going to say Muhammad's an apple, so he's not a person. But then somebody can turn around and say King Solomon is the sun and moon. You're dreaming about the Temple of Solomon. You're dreaming about
what you're talking about, and this is correct. Yeah. That's crazy. So,
right,
yeah,
now,
Muhammad is in the Bible.
Book of Joel. Yeah, he's in many places. Book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 3. It says here, you have taken my gold, my silver, and you have taken my Mohammedans into your temples. Now, this sounds like what's happening in the Balkans. Yes, and in Europe, in Hungary, where the Muslims are claiming that the Vatican, the Habsburgs, have taken the Mohammedans into the churches and forced them to bow down to the statues of the Virgin Mary, and where the Hungarians were saying the Muslims have kidnapped our children and forced them to go inside mosques.
And they're translating it as my possessions, which is pretty weird.
Oh, they're just going to use different things. Let's go through this quickly.
I mean, doesn't that mean kind of to say my possessions? Are they saying it's my people, like they own people?
Oh, what the thing is, it's like the word good morning. You can translate it as get lost or come here. They're changing the meaning. Or good morning could mean, it's a good morning. Or good morning can mean, give me your money. So they just translate it as they wish. Yeah. So now here it's turned around and it says here, the enemy has spread his hand out over all the Mohammedans, for she has seen that the heathens has entered into their sanctuary. Yeah, this sounds like the Muslims, are fighting the Crusaders, and the Crusaders broke into some of their mosques in the Balkans. We know this history, but they've translated it as something else. Anyway, this is in Lamentations. This Muhammad is throughout the Bible. Yeah. Now the big question is, what is Muhammad doing there?
That's crazy. You unlocked it because I can remember it now. And every single one of these. It is in the Bible. All over the place.
What about these Muslims with the big mouths? These Muslim evangelical preachers? They're not speaking about this.
No.
And same like what Raphael pointed out. Half these people are paid to make the videos. They've got mega hundreds of thousands of viewers. This is how we know they want this conflict and this thing to continue. Nobody's ever going to get to the truth. have I sent you the second book of Chronicles? And
Mm-hmm.
it's turning around, and here is the name Muhammad again.
In freaking
Yeah,
Chronicles. Wow. And this
yeah.
is also interesting because Chronicles is the one we were talking about earlier because
Yeah,
Hezekiah
but
and the
let's rush
tunnels of
forward
Siloam
because
sewage.
Andreas, we're really running out of time. Now here's
Sorry.
the Book of Kings. Muhammad is there, and it says, "Whatever is Muhammad's, they shall put in their hands, and they will take it." This sounds like the Crusades, where the Vatican, in south of France, when they entered cities during the Crusades, and in southern Italy, they were confiscating any property that belonged to the Mohammedans. Yeah, of course they're going to say, and this is why Professor Fomenko said that the Bible is from the Middle Ages, describes events during the Middle Ages. Now let's go to Ezekiel. You know, people are using Ezekiel and things like this for these Armageddon and end time prophecies. Yeah, what the hell's going on? I found this name Muhammad throughout the Bible. Oh, it doesn't even say son of Adam, son of man. It says son of Adam, and they've translated it as son of man throughout this Bible. Yes, so it turned around and says, I'm going to take Muhammad from their eyes, blah, blah, blah. That's Ezekiel. So Isaiah is famous. It's quoted as a predictor for Jesus Christ and also for, the end times prophecies, 666, Revelation, blah, blah, blah. Now we've got Muhammad's over here. The Mohammedans are destroyed in battle. Oh, this Muhammad is beautiful. He's pleasant. He's your desire. He's the best, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so that's one place in Ezekiel. It's in many places. Actually, we could just go on and on and on. But anyway, the thing is, somebody's going to turn and say, Muhammad maybe is an apple. And they're going to say, Muhammad maybe is a woman. Maybe he's female. And they're saying, the Bible actually turned around and says that is in one chapter they try and turn around and say that God is speaking about the death of Ezekiel's wife. Somebody sent me forward of two people who are laughing like monkeys. Oh, I like this video. They look so stupid. I was laughing at them too. And they made this video because they were lying in the video. I call it a lie, an official lie, and because what they said I'm going to show is a lie in a minute. Yeah. And the thing is, they were laughing like monkeys, but I loved their video. Yes, because I could laugh at them. I like entertainment. I like watching Friends because it makes me laugh. Joey. I've always liked Joey. Yeah, so there's many evangelical videos. And because what am I supposed to do? Because there's evangelical Muslims, Christians, and Jews who are trying to deny history and claim
There's
that
Muhammad
this is Jerusalem.
and Mohammedans, which is like the Christians essentially. So you've got both Muhammad and Mohammedans in the Bible, and it's not talking about it in a sort of. It's a very inclusive way to speak about them. You know?
So now let me go through. Let me go through this very fast because Andreas, I don't want to run out of time.
Right.
Now, here is an example of these so-called biblical manuscripts. They're saying they're ancient. And then here is modern Hebrew that was invented in the 20th century, this font anyway, yeah, in the 19th or 20th century, where it became, like this with the computers I'm talking about, But anyway, you'll notice there's dots and dashes that did not exist in the original manuscripts. Now, the dots and dashes were invented by a group of people like you and me, so that we can make people think that these words actually say this, that we don't know what these words in the Bible are actually saying. Now, for example, here they turn around and say that this verse in the Bible talks about the death of, what's his name? Is it, Ezekiel's wife?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's many people have made videos about this and they're laughing. I laughed at them. They're very entertaining. If anybody wants to see, hey, we're the monkeys, and have a bit of a laugh, you'll find many videos like this online. Yeah. I don't want to say people's names because I don't want to diss anybody, but I know they did this for a political reason because they're making a lot of money out of this. I checked them out, but people will see there's many videos online. You can check. There's many people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars out of these things. Yeah, out of religion. Anyway, now I've put number 1, 2, and 3. Now this is what the Hebrew looks like, and they're telling us that they've translated the Bible correctly. Like, for example, if it says this is my chosen one, or this is not my chosen one, or any word that it says, like, for example, that verse is supposed to say, and the word of Yahweh came to me saying. Now, the word Yahweh that's written there could actually even say he is in all the Middle Eastern dialects. Now, he is could mean it could mean you or me. He is, I am, you are, he is, she is. Yes. So Yahweh does not necessarily mean God or Jehovah. Now, this is one. So I'm going to magnify this so that people can check this themselves. It will show that every single word in the Bible is under question here. That anybody who checks the Bible now, they have to translate every single thing themselves. It says, and came the word of Yahweh to me. So now I opened up the Bible and I had a look at this myself. And I thought, I will have a look at this word, way high. Yes, way high is supposed to mean and came, or it came to me. Yes, so now the same word, yes, they just put different dots and dashes called the Masoretes. They've modified the Masoretes by dots and dashes. Please study the Masoretes yourself, because there are going to be, what do you call it, evangelicals and other people who are going to lie just to protect what they imagine. Yes, superstition in belief. But have a look how the same word is translated. It turns out, says, and there was. It says, used, and then it says now. It says for, wherefore, or lived in the house of Micah, and became, or even also, or ran along here the border, or to him, or came. So now they're trying to say the word of the Lord came to me, to Ezekiel. Does it mean the Lord of the world, the word of the Lord came to me, or what do you call it, lived inside the house, or became? Or does it mean used? So now this is one word. I'm just showing you how they're translating things. They're inventing the translation. So now, was it the word of the Lord came? The next word is called debar. Yeah, so let's have a look at this. Did the word of the Lord come to any of these so-called men in the Bible? The word of the Lord, what they're calling the word, can be translated as the word came, the case came, the account came, the disease came. Did the word of God come to Ezekiel, or did the disease come? We got a problem here now. We got a serious problem, Andrea. Have I just caught the Bible? I've caught it. Yes. Then it says the portion came. Does it? Then it says the manner of his behavior came. Then it says because came. Or was it came, or was it something else? You can pick and choose the translation as you wish. The ration. So now I can say the ration came. Can you see?
A ration
so
of
now
wickedness.
So now, did the word of
disease.
God come to Ezekiel, or did a mental disease come to this guy? So now, another thing we've got now, did it come to him, or did it come against him, or did it come to us? Because the next word, Eli, could mean it came to us. So was Ezekiel one person? And Yahweh means he is. That could mean the Pope. The word of the Vatican came to him. Yes, of all these threats where it's saying God's going to punish you, blow up this, God's going to burn these villages, God's going to cook these bones, and things like this in Ezekiel. I read that chapter, who cooked the bones and all this. It sounds like the Inquisitions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, let me open this up, that you're going to think this is damn serious. It's so serious. Have you seen the fraud in the translations of the Bible? Can you see it? Can you see it? Now, can you see the fraud in the translations and everything? Yeah. Now, every single word. Now, do you know, shall I describe the God of Ezekiel to you? Now, I've just gone to Bible.com, Ezekiel chapter 24. Now, look at this. Now, this sounds like the Inquisitions, the Vatican. Yes? Making threats here. It's saying, what do you call it? Get all the people, burn them in wood, start cooking their meat alive, mix it with spices, basically eat them, burn them. Doesn't that sound like the Inquisition to you? The Inquisitions that happened in France, in Holland, in Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, in Hungary, Croatia, Italy, Spain, Portugal. Isn't that what it sounds like? Let her scum be in the fire. What type of a God is this? And then it's saying God's word came. Was it God's word or the Vatican's word? And then they're trying to say, yes, that Ezekiel's wife died, but the word Muhammad turns up before Ezekiel's wife died. I checked this. Now, another thing is, so now we've got these problems. We can't even find, yes, we can't even find a single chapter that's been translated properly. Yes, in the Hebrew Bible. Now we've got more problems because let me show you this. I've been through this with you before. Yes, the Jewish people have been speaking Arabic for the last 17 centuries until the 19th century. That the majority of the Jewish people spoke Arabic. So why is this book in Hebrew?
Right.
Why is this book in Hebrew? And then Jewish people, and the Hebrew language was a dead language. Yes. And they're saying it came back to life after 2,000 years. Have you received it?
Yeah.
You know that Jewish people spoke Hebrew.
Right. It's supposed to be Aramaic.
Yeah. Yeah. Aramaic is the dialect of Rome. It's a different thing. Like we spoke about this last time. You know, dialect like Snoop. You know, what does it say? 1, 2, 3, and 2. Therefore, Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre's at that door, ready to make an entrance back on up. You can say that is a language. You can Aramaic.
Right. Aramaic's kind of Arabic.
There's different types of Aramaic, yeah, and Hebrew. But anyway, Hebrew words, yeah, the majority of them are Arabic. So I checked the Bible and I translated it with Arabic. It's totally you can actually get a genuine meaning out of it. So now, for 2,000 years, Hebrew is not a spoken language. They're telling us Hebrew has been lost for 2,000 years. Can you imagine if I turn around and tell you what New York looked like 2,000 years ago? Nobody's going to believe me. I've got no evidence whatsoever. 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago. But anyway, yes, and the thing is they invented the modern Hebrew language. After 1881, they started making the first dictionary. Wait a minute. How can you translate the Bible without even a dictionary? Into, yeah, every European, every Asian, every all these languages that were already translated. Oh, by the way, this dictionary was not finished until, you know, around the Second World War. Yes? How did they translate the Bible? The truth is, they didn't. That's why all the translations have got different words.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, and now the thing is, yes, how do we know how to translate the Bible? How did they translate it without the first Hebrew dictionary in 1881? Let me show you how they translated it. How could the Vatican, everyone else translate it? Because Hebrew is Arabic. All the words and all the root words are Arabic. So when you look at the word Yahweh, Jehovah, it doesn't say God. Yahuwah means he is, I am, or she is. You understand? I couldn't believe it myself. I thought, I felt actually, the truth is, when these Muslim people told me, I was embarrassed. I'm telling you the truth here now. I thought, oh, damn. I thought Jehovah was a special title or Yahweh or something. I'm being honest with you. Then when he told me, when I first heard this from a Muslim, this is the first time I'm admitting it, because I've got a lot of pride. It's because I've noticed I know many things and many people come to me for information. I'm admitting today that when I first learned this, I actually felt, you know, totally depressed. I thought, damn.
But yes, isn't it the same as Muhammad, right? Muhammad means like the sweet one or something, right?
It doesn't. No. They've invented that translation.
Well.
It doesn't say sweet one. In another place, it says desire. I've said you can have Muhammad's in many places. In another place, it says beautiful things, important things, special things, different things. They invented it. Yeah.
But maybe so people, it wasn't. Maybe it's just a kind of common word, like dude. Muhammad.
Muhammad is a name. It's common. Yeah. Same like Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. So the thing is, imagine if I'm going to turn around, Jesus is a name, but Solomon is a name. But now if somebody is going to turn around and say, no, this Bible translation is correct, then we can turn around and say Solomon means, yeah, I said this to Raphael, Solomon is the sun and the moon. King David is an apple. What do you call it? Jesus Christ, he's, what do you call it? He's an orange. Mary is a tomato. Mary Magdalene is, what do you call it? She's, what do you call it? A pair of socks. You know, we can just invent these meanings. We can invent these meanings as we go along. No, Muhammad is in there. It's talking about battles, taking Muhammad's possessions, the Mohammedans' possessions, converting the Mohammedans
So
into.
specifically about
Yeah,
Muhammad, then you're saying it's talking about the guy, the person,
it's not
Muhammad,
me. Even
the
Professor
prophet.
Fomenko, Anatoly Fomenko, has shown that the Bible is describing events in the Middle Ages. Yeah, in Eurasia. Let me just show you. He himself says it, and then he goes through it,
So the
and he
Bible
shows that.
corroborates the existence of the person Muhammad.
Yeah, yeah, not just
Wow.
once. There's many places. I've sent you several. If people are looking for more, then they can have a look in my book. What do you call it? Jerusalem is in Europe. Like, let me just show you. It's like the thing is, but have a look. So he's turning around. He's presented evidence. It's written. It's describing rendition of events in the Middle Ages, and it was completed by the 18th, 19th century. Now, this is why the first Hebrew dictionary, they started making it after 1880. So how could they have translated the Bible before then? They didn't. That's why the translations are different. They're all forgeries. You understand? Yes, and everyone knows during the medieval times, year after year, there's war going on between the Muslims and the Christians. Yes, and what were the Muslims called during the Middle Ages? They were simply called Mohammeds and Mohammedans. The word Muslim came later after the 17th century. Yes, they were just called all these Mohammeds and Mohammedans. And yeah, I pointed this out to what's his name? To Raphael. The thing is, not just the Muslims, but the Germans were called Mohammeds and Mohammedans during the Renaissance and the Middle
Right.
Ages too, which is shocking. The Germans, yeah.
Right. Well,
The thing
Alamans
is,
now. I mean, and they still can't handle it.
yeah, they were called barbarians. Alaman. Yes, not just that. Somebody else pointed out a comment on Raphael's place that even the Scandinavians in Sweden and other places, the local people were called Aleman, Alemoen or Aleman.
Right.
Yes, and the thing is, in the Middle East, the Muslims call themselves, I'm a man of Allah, Alaman. This is a common title. It is not something that the Muslims have invented. Now, somebody's going to say it means all. I've explained this in Raphael's video. That's another forgery of history. Yes. Now, the Dome of Rock, that is, this is very important. I showed this to Raphael. Yeah, the Dome of Rock that is in that village called Quds, that they call Jerusalem today. And they say, knock it down, this, Arab garbage. These many Muslims and many Christians and Jews and saying, knock it down and blah, 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 blah. There was a temple here on top of the sewage processing and water treatment place.
Wow.
Yes, they're saying this is the holy place of God, so that then they can have more pilgrims, more people come to the sewage tunnels, more people can. They're not going to clean those tunnels because the billionaires, it's already cost them hundreds of millions to arrange these tunnels and modify them. Do you think they're going to spend another $100 million to wipe out all the toilet garbage, all the toilet shit? Are you going to do this, Andreas? If you and me, if we go and buy these sewage tunnels, it's going to cost us, let's say, $50 million to $100 million. Are you willing to invest that extra $100 million just to remove all the toilet crap? Or will you say, just let the water flow through here? We will tell them that this is the resurrection water, that you will be on your way to heaven after you drink this.
I like it. It's a good spin. Yes, let's do with that.
But are you going to be willing to spend just that extra $100 million?
Faster,
No.
cheaper. No, let's leave the
Yeah,
water
of
running.
course not.
Yeah.
Never. And if we do spend the 100 million, we got a problem. The tunnels won't look ancient, but all the sewage crap, it looks old.
Water's running.
No, I mean to modify the walls, we can to clean it up a little. Things like that will cost an extra $100 million. I mean, are you willing to invest that extra $100 million?
No, I think we should let's just leave it running. I mean, I like the PR spin.
If you spend another $100 million, it won't look ancient and people might not come. But if we
Right.
keep it looking dark, gloomy, and
Yeah.
dirty, people are
People
going
like
to
that.
think it's ancient and all that. They'll think it's the smell from paradise and things like that. We will say it's the smell of the
Yeah,
civilization
actually,
of
that's completely
the saints of
practical. That's
God.
not even a cult. That's just common sense if you're trying to make money. That's a good point.
Yeah. So now the thing is, I forgot. I'm not sure, but I didn't want to admit this, but okay. There's okay. No, I'll leave it out. Yeah, about these billionaires. But anyway, I want you to think. Yes, imagine right now that they invaded Iraq for oil. We know this. Yes, no matter how much they deny it, the price of oil used to be below $20 a barrel. Since then, it's always been above 50, 60, 80, 100. You know, so they're making lots of money. Yes. So the thing is, they invaded Egypt and the British, French, and the rest of them, and they took over the country for 50 years, or something like that, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. During that 50 years, you will find the construction photographs of that they're building many places. Yes, tourist sites. Yes, so that's what they did there. Now they invaded what we called Palestine. Yeah, and they invented the fake name Palestine so that then people will think, oh, it's the Philistines in the Bible. Yeah, come on. They invented this name, you know, wake up, guys. So the thing is, you know, it's just for business. Yeah, so they invent all these names. Oh yeah, you can have a look. Thomas Cook. Let's go through it directly so that people can see. You know, this is at the Open University. Many people
Right.
have checked this themselves. Have you received it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Science of productive
You know,
asset practice of recovery, reconstruction,
yeah.
restoration, the Holy Land.
Wait, no. What does it say? As applied to newly invented sites. It's like, do you know what
Newly
we?
invented sites in the Holy Land.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you know what we should say? We should say this is. Do you know what? Let's go and find a tree over there and say this is the tree that Adam ate the apple. That would make millions. It will be another newly invented site. They've invented Jerusalem, so now we could say Adam and Eve lived here too. Oh, the architect of this project was, you know, Thomas Cook and his friends. Oh, don't worry, he just his company, Thomas Cook, made 10 billion. Yeah, there was several hundred people involved, so they're all making money. As you can see, artificially invented sites. You can see, they gave these names. You understand? So they invented these names, and you know, so it's you know, it's very great. But have a look at this. This is very funny. You know, these evangelical people who made them multi-millions, who went there at that time, they transformed the local Arabs into biblical figures. You know, these people are these ancient Assyrians, the ancient Babylonians. That's why they totally fought ancient Egyptians. They falsified the history of the entire region. Yeah, that's why the British Army and the Indian Army and the French Army occupied the entire region, what they call Palestine, Jordan, Iraq, Egypt. Yeah, and do you know what they did? An important project is create a new identity for these people. Gertrude Bell, she handled it for Iraq. Yeah, and the modern conception and the invention of the Philistines who were in the Bible, Palestinians or Palestinians, just another invention. And then the history of that, they're going to pretend and say, oh, the Ottoman invented this title because they would like to, of course, say that, oh, the Muslims invented this. No, the total thing is it's just a business project. You understand? Yes?
Hmm.
Yeah, can
Wow.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole thing is a business project. It's a fraud. Yeah. So now the thing is, I
And
showed Aachen
also like a
Cathedral.
detour away from Istanbul.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you do that? Imagine right
Right.
now
That makes a lot of
that,
sense.
that the Chinese are invading. Yes, for 1,000 years they're attacking New York. Do you know what? And then eventually, yeah, the Chinese realize we're not going to win. Millions of people have died, and us on our side, you and me, we represent the United States. So you know what we're going to say to them? Think, hey, let's turn around and say that New York is in Saudi Arabia or Yemen. They're already fighting in Yemen. Yemen. They're already Iraq, Baghdad. Let's change the name. They're
Kansas,
already fighting there.
Alberta, in Alberta, Canada. That'd be a good place for New York.
Yeah, in the mountains further north. Nobody lives there. Nobody's going to get hurt. There's a
Yeah.
village over here. And do you know what we'll do? Yeah, we'll leave Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the vaccinator. Yeah, and a few other businessmen and say, just to change this village over here into New York. Yeah. And do you know what? People will be looking for it, saying, where is this amazing city that existed in the past? We're looking for it. Yeah, and then you pretend and say, oh, New York has been lost for 1,000 years. We start teaching this in school. Jerusalem was never lost. They changed the name and they pretended it's gone missing for 2,000 years. Because what are we going to do? Same like they turned around and said that the Crusades happened, what do you call it, in the Middle Ages, but Christ died 2,000 years ago. Because what are you going to do? Because you know these churchgoers, church fanatics, mosque fanatics, synagogue fanatics, other religious new age end of days fanatics, yeah, who are willing to push the limit, who are willing to insult other people, laugh at other people. Yeah, that's why I turned around and said, hey, we're the monkeys. Just laugh at these people, because what they're doing is they're pushing an agenda which is to do with money, power, control. And the thing is, control and power means nothing without money. You see? So the thing is, they've been making money for centuries. I'll tell you how they make money. Imagine if we did that Adam and Eve's tree. Yeah. The thing is, yeah, they're going to support us. Now the thing is, there's going to be local people who are going to turn and say, what's going on? All these tourists are coming through here. They're getting pissed at night, jumping up and down and dancing. Or many of them are attacking us because, do you know what we've got to do? We've got to turn around and say, the local people who get in the way will turn around and just say, hey, it says in Revelation, Armageddon's going to happen here. So now we've got to make friends with these evangelical churches, Armageddon. Or otherwise we're not going to make money, Andreas, in our project. So now what they've got to do is spread more rumors, that these local people are going to join the Antichrist. They're part of the team, with the Antichrist. So we got to defeat them. We got to expel them. Just throw them out like dogs. Many, things like that. And then the other thing, we'll just use their sewage things and say, when Adam and Eve, when Satan deceived them, that's when the land turned horrible. They went underground and they walked through this sewage tunnel. Yeah, and it still survives miraculously. It's been here for the last 10,000 years. Yeah, according to the age of the Bible, I forgot 7,000, 10,000. I'm not sure. How old do they say that 5,000 years old the world is? How old do they say the world is in biblical times?
It's like 8 a.m. October 3rd on a Thursday, 4004 BC. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
Yeah, so we'll say, hey, these tunnels, Adam built them himself. The first man, your great ancestor. Yeah, and then we'll say, this is holy water. Yes, that Adam, after he ate the apple, Satan deceived him. What do you call it? Yes, and then he had to purify himself. He drank from these waters. We could sell these bottles of water, $100 a bottle. Who cares if it's got sewage inside it? Andreas, think of the money. Wake up, man. think of all the traveling.
I'm scared.
I
don't know. The idea of just like having to move all these people, but I guess you're saying that they're going to get to nicer, they're going to get
Don't worry about it. The British did it.
Okay.
The American Army did it.
All right.
Bill Gates and these people, the oil companies,
Keep
they're
reminding
doing
me
it.
about the money. The money is important.
Why can't we do it? Look, the oil companies are doing it. They blew up the whole of Iraq. What's wrong with blowing up a few more places in the Middle East? Who cares? It's like, who cares? Why can't we get a piece of the cake too, buddy? Don't.
But
it's
those
not just
underground
us.
sewers, though. See, really, it doesn't matter what's above. So basically, anywhere where there is a disaster, you can turn it into. So what we should do is find places where there's already. Go to Kuwait, right, and then find the tunnels under Kuwait. Turn those into religious tunnels. Find places that have been bombed out already.
Nobody's
and just go to
going to come
tunnels.
there. Those tunnels are too clean. Kuwait's got all these new buildings, skyscrapers. Nobody's going to believe that. Yeah, no one's going to believe that. If we have it just down the road from Jerusalem. Don't worry, local people come. Nobody will even notice if we get our our security.
Can we do Istanbul sewage tours?
No, no one's going to buy it for $100 a bottle. Just think, 1,000 bottles is $10,000. 10,000 bottles is $100,000. You don't seem to get it.
No, I do. Jerusalem.
Yeah, we can even egg it. It could even become a brand.
I said talk
like
about
the
the money.
Coca-Cola brand.
Huh? Yeah, we're gonna be carbonated. That's
Yeah,
the future.
yeah. So the thing is, we could even turn it into a brand. Yeah, but
Carbonated holy
damn,
water.
once people have tasted this water, they'll notice it's not fresh water, it's salty water, it's got sewage.
Not for
So
human
we'll have to
consumption. We'll have to put it in the bottle and
So
small.
do you know what do you know how we're going to sell? Let's say in New York, if our brand becomes big, all we've got to do is get the sewage water from New York and just put it in bottles. And do you know what? It's called recycling. We're saving the world.
Oh yeah, from municipal source.
Environment, we are saving the world. You don't know climate
30%,
change.
70% mix. Exactly.
Yes. So we don't even have to purify it. We don't even have to do anything. And it's natural too. We can put it natural ingredient.
Well, if we don't do it, other people can.
Somebody else will.
Already doing it.
Somebody else
People
will.
are already doing
know
it.
it.
Is the point of this?
Yeah. Any investors, please contact me because I've got some great business ideas. Oh, you know what everyone's going to say? David, you're like Satan. Hey, then what about the rest of the world? Why
Right. Is the
don't
point.
you? Why doesn't the world change? If the world isn't going to change, let's join the world and let's take advantage of them. This is how the people.
Unless that doesn't
think.
sit right with your stomach.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to say. Well, anyway, Andreas, I think we should call it a day today, unless if you've got any more questions. Do you have any more questions?
No, I think that's pretty good. That's beautiful. I think we
Yeah.
should probably look into going to Jerusalem and maybe going underground for a while, especially if the weather keeps changing.
Andreas, I'm sure that there's many American investors who are willing to invest because in America there's many evangelicals. Yeah. The thing is, let's make money, bro. This is a great idea.
Let's make money while
Yeah.
there's still money in the world to make. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
David,
you take care.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Okay, you take. Okay, yeah. Bye.
Thank you.